possessions don't usually happen only in your body. It might also bring upon a lot of misfortune. People understand, people go over here and they get possessed by a demon. The demon is not always inside your body. The demon might bring a lot of misfortune to your family, to your loved ones, and even in materialistic ways.
Hello guys, welcome to the Haunted Show. My name is Shlok and I am your host. So today we have as our guest Mr. Savio Furtado. तो हम आज का वीडियो लेके आ रहे हैं एक हॉरर स्टोरी के बारे में जो मेरे साथ हुआ है. So I would like to share that with you. As you are an expert in this particular field, I would like to have your suggestions and your solution to the problem that I have faced since a long time.
I'd like to call myself a researcher, not an expert.
Okay. As a researcher, I've seen you giving solutions and solving people's problems.
Yeah.
So this was my query which has been with me since a very long time. ये मैं 2017 से सोच रहा हूँ कि मेरे साथ हुआ क्या था वो टाइम पे. एंड ये सिर्फ मेरे साथ नहीं हुआ है, मेरे साथ जो दोस्त रहता था बाद में, जो आया था मेरे साथ रहने, उसके साथ भी हुआ है. कई साल पहले, मैं बहुत सालों से आई एम बिन स्टेइंग अलोन. अभी ड्यू टू माई वर्क, ड्यू टू माई प्रोफेशन एंड मैनी थिंग्स व्हाट आई डू. तो 2017 में my father passed away in the month of March, and उसके पहले I have not been lived alone ever. So that was the first time that I started living alone with him. So I used to live in a Jodi flat, a mirror flat basically, on the 3rd floor of a building. So when he passed away, I cannot say that I had some psychological effect or something. We were not that close or something like that, but we were like friends or something. So it was okay. 2 months after that, in the month of May, it was very much hot. And every person who's staying alone, it was 1:30 at night. I used to chill, watch movies, have fun in life. I was a student. I was studying my filmmaking course and stuff like that. So at 1:30 at night, I was doing the dishes in the kitchen. So I'll tell you the architecture of the house. So it's a Jodi flat, which means it's a mirror flat. So we have not made it into one flat, but we have kept it the way it is, like the original way. It just the difference is जो बीच का दीवार होता है फ्लैट में, we just cut out a small door like place in it, and we have installed a slider door where we can close the door and open the door so that that house can have a privacy, and this house can have a privacy. And we had both the doors of the houses. We didn't demolish that one. And it was an L-shaped house. So this was flat 303 and this was flat 304. Okay, and the beach wala was a sliding door. So sliding door के इस पार उस घर का किचन है एंड इस पार इस घर का किचन है. तो उस घर का जो किचन है वो हमने किचन बनाया नहीं, लाइक वो किचन था ही नहीं, क्योंकि एक ही किचन है, जोड़ी फ्लैट है. अंडरस्टूड. सो वो किचन के स्पेस में हमने एक बेसिन रखा है, फिर एक फ्रिज है किचन के स्पेस में, फिर और एक उसमें वॉशिंग मशीन रखा है एंड एक्स्ट्रा स्टफ दैट वी कैन कीप. वॉशिंग मशीन के पीछे इज़ अ विंडो, एंड विंडो से नीचे यू कैन सी स्टफ. ओके, द किचन इज़ लाइक दैट. एंड सेम विद दिस हाउस कि इसमें लेकिन सच में किचन है. द किचन इज़ देयर, यू कैन डू डिशेज, यू कैन हैव देयर इज़ अ विंडो इन दिस हाउस ऑल्सो. So at 1:30 I was doing the dishes and I was not wearing a t-shirt. It was too hot. It was mid-May, रात को 1:30, and that was my routine, regular routine. I used to sleep late at night. I used to wake up late in the morning, afternoons and all. Though रात है क्या है, and we were like bachelors, too young. So we were there. I was there doing the dishes, and I felt like there is someone in my back watching me. And I saw in my back, like I saw what's there in the back, just to confirm my mind कि कुछ नहीं है. So when I saw ऐसा जैसा पीछे देखा मैंने, I saw a person, a lady, maybe in her 50s or 60s, old. Okay, all her hair were white. She was wearing a sari, not those cliche white saris and all this stuff, but she was wearing a sari, a proper sari. A woman felt like more of a Rajasthani culture or something like that. That kind of the persons that we see in Rajasthan, typical those kind of women. Height can be around 5'11" or 6 feet.
Oh, that
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah, tall lady. I am 5'8", so a tall lady, and she was standing ahead of the washing machine. Like, it's a top-loaded, fully automatic washing machine. So her hand was like this, and she was just standing straight, and her mouth was ahead, like she was looking at me like that. And I looked back and I looked ahead, and ऐसा नहीं है कि I've been watching a lot of haunted movies and all, horror movies and all. नहीं, ऐसा भी नहीं है. नॉर्मल लाइफ, नॉर्मल रूटीन, वेब सीरीज देखना, घूमने जाना, चिल करना, वैसे टाइप. एंड आई डोंट स्मोक, आई डोंट drink regularly or nothing like that, not in any sense. So I saw back, I saw front, and I was shit scared. I was like, what the just what I did, like what I saw. And it was like, I can still see the face, like I can sketch the face, it is that prominent. And I see on my back, मैं पीछे देखता हूँ कि क्या है, फिर मैं आगे देखता हूँ, and I was like, just do it, just do whatever you're doing. And then we again have that urge कि let's reconfirm whether it is there, because I am a pretty strong mentally strong person that doesn't believe in all this kind of thing. Like, I used to be like that person. And I see on my back again what's there. She comes 2 steps forward. ठीक है, सेम पोजिशन, दोनों दीवार पे ऐसा हाथ रखा है उसने. एंड शी इज़ कम्प्लीटली skeletal, like she is thin, 6 feet thin. Okay, hair strands like this, and white hair पूरा ऐसा पीछे बांधा हुआ थोड़ा, और आगे के थोड़े ऐसे गिरे हुए. ठीक है, बांधा मतलब समथिंग लाइक दैट पीछे, नॉट ओपन है. कुछ बाल थे ऐसे इधर से, लेकिन नॉट ओपन. एंड देन I see on my back and I look front, and I get more scared कि why did she come ahead? And that's real now, that's confirmed, that's real. And I throw the utensil, whatever is there. And it's my own house, it's still there, no one stays there currently. It's been 6 years now. So I see there, I throw the utensils, and if I want to go out of the kitchen, I have to go through that L, right? I have to go out and pass the sliding door, and then my door is there. So it's a kitchen room door to get out of the house. So I throw the utensils. I don't just clean in the same water. I just don't take efforts. I was not wearing a t-shirt. I turn around to leave that place to get out. And she was standing on the boundary of the sliding door in that room. She didn't cross that room to this room, but she was in that room, and she was very close, like this close from me, and she didn't do anything. She was looking very close. And with the way we look our meal, right, if we are very hungry, the way we look our food, like craving wala thing, that is what I felt the expressions were, and that is what I felt that happened. And then I come back, I pick up the t-shirt that was on the bed, I don't even lock the room, I leave, I go outside, I spend my night on the road walking here and there, because raat ke 1:30 baje the, I was just waiting for the morning to happen. And I come back in the morning at 6, and then I left that flat, and I came back after 3 weeks or so, something. I didn't stay there like after that, in that time frame.
Did it repeat anytime after that?
No, I told my relatives about it, कि something like this has happened, and I come from a good filthy background monetarily. So they told me that if you don't like living there, come and stay with us, if you don't want to live alone, because I wanted to experiment living alone. And they tell me that if you don't want to live there, come and stay with us in South Bombay. And I told them ki if that's the only way, or else they tell me ki first they didn't believe, and they were like ki nahi, aisa kuch nahi, do one thing, call your friends there, a party every night, be with your friends, and you will forget that incident. And it's just that your house is empty for a long time, that something must have happened and your dad just passed away and some stuff like that. Then I called in my friends. So we, for the next 6 months, 8 months, nothing like that. I felt nothing like that occurred. But me with my another friend, we were staying in the same house. He was staying with me for 3 months. And I used to travel a lot. I used to not be in the house after that. For the next 2 years, I traveled a lot across India. So, but he was staying alone in that week, because we used to stay with each other. When I was not there, he used to go back to his house. कि मेरे को अकेले नहीं रहना है इस घर में. Because he used to not get good vibes from that place.
Oh.
So I was in Kerala and he called me that कि तेरे को इस घर में at night, तेरे को इस घर में कभी कुछ ऐसा लगा है क्या कि कोई तेरे साथ है? तो I was like, what happened? So it was around night only, 12:30 or something like that. And he told me, तेरे को ऐसा लगा है क्या कोई तेरे साथ है इस घर में? तो मैंने बोला कि क्यों, तेरे को क्या हुआ? बोलता है कि मेरे को काफ़ी टाइम से अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. He tells me this. So I didn't tell him anything about it. I just told him कि तू तेरे घर पे चले जा आज, book a cab and go home. ठीक है? I don't want to answer you anything right now. Just go home. Let me come and we'll talk about it. I didn't tell him anything because he was a very sensitive person.
Okay.
I didn't want him to panic because he was still at my house.
Good decision.
Yeah. So I told him to go home and he left. And once he came back, so I told him कि something like that happened to me. So first he told me, why didn't you tell me? But I didn't obviously tell him because he's very sensitive and something has happened with me only. And after that, we both left that house.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many incidences that have happened in that society, many things that happened in that society, which I was not aware because I was staying there I was very new. I was staying there for just 5 months or so. And then I used to travel a lot. I used to hardly be there in that space, in that society. So I don't know exactly. So this is what happened with me. So what do you think about it?
There are many things to be considered in this entire episode that happened with you. There is something known as residual haunting. That is the data that is recorded by all those, the furniture and the elements that are there in that particular place. They record certain data and in some favorable conditions, they play it back. So it might be that what you saw was just a projection of any data that was been stored earlier.
What kind of data like?
Of this woman who was there.
So the thing is, the woman looked very, very weak. But very much powerful at the same end. She didn't have a lot of flesh, as I said, but it was scary, like looking at her. Like if that was a normal human, I would have fought that person. Obviously, I would have punched that person. But as it was uncommon for me in that situation, I was not in the sense to even think that what should I react.
Yeah, I understand.
The best thing was to leave.
Best. That's right.
To leave.
If I was in your place, I would have confronted. I'm a different person altogether, weird like that. But a few things. You saw her and you immediately knew that she is not real. What made you feel that she is not real?
I used to live alone.
So how come you know? I mean, was she translucent? Could you see through her? What was it exactly?
I didn't feel like not much opaque, but maybe a little translucent, like not the fairy tale kind of thing ki hawa hai or something, nothing like that. It felt concrete, but not much opaque.
Okay. Were there other people staying in your house before that?
Yes. Before that, only my dad used to stay. And he stayed there for maybe like 18-20 months.
Okay.
Before he passed away. And before that, there was a Gujarati family that used to stay in that house and they left.
Did they leave any articles behind?
A lot of. They didn't take their furniture. They didn't take their food grains, utensils. They didn't take anything.
All was there intact?
Yes.
Okay. So as I said, now there is something known as residual energy.
Okay.
So residual means something has left as a residue. Like what we are speaking right now has been caught by the diaphragm in the mic and is getting recorded.
Okay.
Right. But the same vibration of audio vibration that we are throwing upon each other is also getting into our ears, is getting to our skin, is getting to all the surfaces that are there around.
Right.
This will be caught and recorded by every surface.
Okay.
And in some favorable conditions, something or the other, it will be recorded and played back.
Okay.
A lot of furniture that people bring along with them also gather a lot of these energies.
Okay.
Maybe this woman that you saw was a real woman who was staying in that house and who died out of hunger.
Okay.
And the energy of that, or usko chavi bolte hain na, the impression of that lady was actually caught on by all the other gadgetry and the furniture that was there around.
Okay.
There was another case like this that came to us during the lockdown again, wherein a lady was staying alone and she could hear voices, she could hear footsteps moving across in the alley. And when we questioned her, she said that yes, she's staying over there as a PG, and that flat belonged to someone else, and that family had a child.
Okay.
So when the child used to run, all these movements and those the temperature and the vibes were being captured by the furniture, and the furniture was still there. So it was like a teakwood furniture, so it catches a lot of data.
Yes. Yes.
And that actually projects it back again. We never know what is the favorable condition. It might be a full moon, it might be a new moon, amavas ho sakta hai, or whatever temperature or whatever it's set to, and these things just come back again.
Okay.
So if at all it is residual, then you don't need to worry about it.
Okay.
But you said there are a lot of other things that happened in the society.
Yeah. So in 2020 during lockdown, many things happened in the society. Like in the lockdown, like we used to not get to travel, and we were all home. So there were many people at their own homes, and many people used to talk to each other, like know each other, who's there, who's not. I asked a lot of people, ki, what's happening in the society? Like many people, every 2 months, someone used to pass away in the society. So they told that this has been happening since 7-8 years, where there was an original temple in that place in the society which has been moved to another place.
Oh.
Yeah. So the temple had a place where they broke the temple and they created a new temple 100 meters far from that, but that was not the original place. It was a Mata ka temple where they found a murti from the ground or something. Because I don't know the history of it, but this is what the people in the society used to tell. So they moved that place, and that was a decision कि okay move कर दो of the landowner जिसका ज़मीन था. So the builder paid the landowner XXX amount. The temple was moved. They constructed buildings and they gave that person another small temple of the same Mata, same thing. The person who sold that land went bankrupt. He still stays there. His relatives, they were given 8 flats in the society. They went so broke, they sold everything. They are staying on rent. The woman in the house, they go to work. They work as a maid for someone else.
That's sad.
Yeah. And they run the house and they stay on rent.
I mean, I'm saying sad not from a dignity of labor sort of a thing. I mean, that's good that you work somewhere. But then I'm saying that from that status to come down to this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sad.
And now, after having 8 flats, they have 0 right now, and they only own the temple, which was newly created, which the builder gave them as a replacement to the older temple. So they own that temple. That's it. Apart from that, there is nothing that
I think it was a very bad decision to move the temple from its original place. And I'm not saying this, I mean, just because it is like a place of devotion or worship or something like that. All those sentiments are not to be hurt. But there is something known as the spirit of the land. Okay. Every element has life. Everything on earth has life. Wherever the grass grows, wherever there is earth, as rocks have a certain amount of metabolism. They originate from somewhere and they end up somewhere. So it has a life from its inception to its complete disintegration. Yeah. Right. So there is a life for everything on earth. Wherever we go, when we go or visit some vacation spots, maybe by a river or by a sea, and we see a lot of people plucking flowers from there, or cutting trees, or harming the animals, or gathering some rocks and throwing it over here, there, everywhere. What happens is the spirit of that place is slightly disturbed. Okay. And then afterwards, there are repercussions to that. Like the course of the river might change if you completely change the entire river bank scenario, right? You build a dam across a river and it will someday or the other come to bite you in the ass. Yes. That happens. Yes. So in the same way, when you cut too many trees, you see a lot of environmental changes. So in the same way, when you change the place where an original place of worship should have been there. I'm not saying that it was a mandir or a masjid, it could be a dargah, it could be a church, it could be anything. But the problem, the thing is that in that particular arena, that place was designated by the universe to have a place which is not supposed to be disturbed. And these people changed that location.
Yeah.
So that brings a lot of misfortune.
Okay.
So this comes to our, a sort of a thing that when people talk about possessions don't usually happen only in your body. It might also bring upon a lot of misfortune. We will understand, people go over here and they get possessed by a demon. The demon is not always inside your body. The demon might bring a lot of misfortune to your family, to your loved ones, and even in materialistic ways.
So the builder who built that society was shot 2 years after. Yeah. So the builder was shot by someone. The people who initiated the deal of the society कि हाँ ये confirm हो गया, वो होते हैं ना बीच के brokers और many people. So they were given 2 flats, that family. So those people, okay, they did it when they were around 26, 28, in that age, someone. Two brothers, okay. They did it when they were 26 or 28. And one person, he died out of suicide. And another person, he died out of an accident, like the bike accident. Both brothers, they passed away. So things like that has happened. I used to stay in 303, 304. So 404, the family that was shifted in 404, they had a kid. So they were on rent. They had a kid, which was in 9th standard, a South Indian family, which was in 9th standard. That they shifted there, and 3 months later, that kid committed suicide in that flat.
Very sad again.
Another person staying there nearby, 10th standard, a girl in 10th standard, she jumped from the terrace. And all these things happened. So when I got to know that this shit is happening in the society, I was like, why am I living there? Why? And I just left. There was no other chance. Like, it's not about the property or any stuff like that, but I didn't want it to get associated with all these things. And my incidents.
All these incidents actually could be also explained for natural reasons. Like every suicide would happen because of some or the other own reason, some depression or something like that.
Maybe.
But everything to happen collectively, it's pointing out to something much more sinister.
Yes.
That there is something in that land, probably a high EMF that is rattling people's mind and driving them towards some death or something like that, and not having them think clearly. So it might be EMF pollution, it might be some high tension wire running from somewhere, or probably some underground water pipes or something like that, which is driving people crazy. Maybe bad vastu. That is having people hallucinate, shortening their tempers and their threshold for tolerating too many things, and they're driven to suicide or probably even deaths, accidents. Their logical way of dealing with things are getting tampered with. So all these things are natural, but also could mean that there is something around in that land which is really driving them towards all these crazy closures.
Maybe I couldn't get the answers for all these things because it was very weird for me. Living there and experiencing these things were very weird, because getting to know that the landowner is now broke and bankrupt, like the family which owned the land, and they owned the temple only. So you imagine how, and they don't leave the society. So they stay on rent, they stay in the same society, and as they own the temple, so they sit in the temple, or they do things. And a temple is not a temple, okay? The temple is not like a working temple where there is a priest or there is a pandit and he's doing kind of things in that temple. Puja ho raha hai har din. It's an active temple where people come to pray. It's like a temple. There is a murti, with the murti which was there. There is that murti, and there are images of goddess Lakshmi and others. I'm unknown about it, but they sit in that temple, like that, sit in that temple. And the men in that house, they are drunkards, like they drink every day. So they, being living in the same society since a very long time, they have known that person, where they come from. So they also respect that person, maybe some sort, because they never questioned those people to leave the place. those people there have some courtesy. Maybe they never question, even doing all those scenes and tamashas and doing all that, because the two drunk people coming every night and they are drooling here and there, and it's a small building, a 5-floor building. So having those kind of actions, people still are not complaining, which means it has some kind of history, or they have some kind of respect towards those people. And this is what I got to know from the people and the secretary and the chairman and all the those friends and extra neighbors that I had. So it was very weird to know that such things are happening, because from my point of view, it looks very scary.
We'd love to do a lockout in your house, actually. I mean, if you can collaborate or something like that, we can have a lockout as in on full night. Any one of us investigators
Stay
or probably
there.
our team, stays there and tries to capture these images. Probably that woman that you saw,
Yeah.
if at all she shows up or manifests somehow or the other, and if it's caught on camera or on our motion detectors or night vision or full spectrums, it would be wonderful.
Yeah. Thanks for telling me what exactly it is, and clearing out stuff about that place. And we'll definitely, surely in future we can do something about
Yeah.
when we get some permissions, and when we get to know that some things are doable in that place with everyone's consent, then we'll surely get after it.
And we'll be helping a lot of people. I mean,
Yeah.
get rid of that misfortune also.
Yeah.
Helping the souls from both the worlds, in fact.
Yeah.
Even.
This is the story that we had, a real life experience, my personal experience that I would like to, I would have liked to share with you guys. You let me know if you have faced such kind of incidences in the comment section, where you feel that something like this or anything paranormal or anything haunted must have happened in your society, your house. Please put your comments in the comment section. So आज के वीडियो का हम यहीं पे अंत करते हैं. So thank you for this today's video, Mr. Savio. Like, share and comment, and show some love. Press the bell icon if you want more of such videos, and if you want us to produce more videos. Let's target at least 2,000 likes for this video, and we'll bring in more stories and more haunted stuff for you. Thank you.